Okay, this will be, I think, episode 33 on the Norton Project. What's the tank doing out here in the wood shop? Well, it's nice and clean, or reasonably so, out here. And I have, after having a terrible nightmare last night, decided that I should put the Caswell liner in that tank after all. I'm going to say it again. If you're going to put a liner in the tank, you really ought to do it before you paint it. And like I said, I wish I had done it because that dream just convinced me. I said, I'm losing sleep over this. I need to line that tank so I know that I'm not going to damage that nice paint job. Anyway, there it is. It's done. I got lucky. I was using some acetone at the very end of cleaning it up, and the old aluminum duct tape. I looked down at that when I was sloshing the acetone around. It was all bulged up. Well, geez, it popped right off, poof, like that. Acetone sprayed up in my face and everything. I got in my eyes, and I just told myself, don't touch the tank. Set it down, let it dry. So I set it down. The stuff dries up almost immediately anyway. And anyhow, after I looked after my eye and got the acetone out of my face and everything, I looked over at the tank, and thankfully there wasn't any damage at all to it. So I was lucky there. So anyway, so lesson learned again. If you're going to put a liner in, put it in before you paint. All right, well, I got a few more things done today. This is, I think, 2 days after I put the liner in there. Anyway, I made up some studs for the underneath of the tank in the back and in the front there, and I used some of the old isoelastic rubbers to make rubber mounts up for the gas tank, and they worked out perfectly in the front. In the back, I've used a piece of high-density foam in underneath the tank there to hold the foam, and that's compressed about as far as it'll compress right now. So that's good, and I made a bracket. I don't know if you can see that under there or not, but I've got my finger on it. I made a bracket to go under the frame tube to hold the tank down to the frame. And I have some old shrink wrap that's very large that my wife kind of relieved her old workplace of. And I stuck that on it, so that gives it a nice thick rubber coating, so when it's up against the frame, I don't need to worry about applying rubber to it because it's already got rubber on it, so that's great. Anyway, the tank's all there, ready to be hooked up as far as gas line and fuel cocks are concerned. What else? Nothing really. I just got to put the side covers on. Oh, I've been playing with batteries today. The old Yamaha, the old battery in that was 12 years old. That was the longest lasting, simple old lead acid battery I've ever had. It was just one of your typical old, nothing special lead acid batteries. That's it right there. That thing is 12 years old. It'll still hold 12-volt charge, but it has no capacity. It doesn't have enough grunt to turn the starter anymore. Yeah, so I guess I could have used that in this bike, but anyway, I got the right size battery for that one as well, so that 9-amp battery's ready to go in there, and I'll take the old test battery out, put that back on the shelf. We're just about ready to get this thing together and see what happens when I put power to the wheels. Geez, I'm kind of gobsmacked. I've never had anything out for a first test drive come back and not had to do anything to it. The plugs are burning clean. The engine is smooth. The brakes, well, they're new. They're not great, but they're adequate. I'm sure they're going to get better with time, but even the speedometer and the tach work right. And there's some little screws that I took out of the exhaust that are supposed to quiet it down. But what they did, they didn't make it that much louder, but exhaust note on it, so it's quite civilized. No, I haven't found any leaks or anything like that, so yeah, that's like I say, this is the first time in I don't know how long I've been doing this, 45 years that I've restored a bike and never had to do a single thing to it. Well, usually there's one or two little things that need to get looked after, like a carb adjustment or something like that, but so far, dare I say it, this thing seems to be almost perfect. Anyway, this will wrap up this series of videos. We're going to call this complete. I may put an epilogue on here after a while, but for now, we will call the Norton Project complete. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you haven't seen the whole thing, well, there's, 33 or 34 episodes on here, so you can watch them all if you want to. Anyway, thanks again. Bye-bye.